Young and the Restless. A mother's love gone rogue, it cannot be overstated that the women of Genoa City are not shrinking violets. Time and again, the men of GC wrongfully assume that is the case. It's often to their peril. This week, Phyllis sends a private investigator after Kyle. She seeks an upper hand from Jack to control Jabbo and divest Fenmore's interest in the company. While there are plenty of reasonable ways to manage this, Phyllis does not choose those options. Instead, she hedges her bets on a scandal. One should never place their money on someone as dull as Kyle. Her plan goes off course. Many viewers and bloggers have claimed that Phyllis is investigating Kyle out of love for her daughter. That is not the Phyllis any viewers know. Only weeks ago, she sold out her friends and family to avoid implication in the J.T. Hellstrom trial. She would sell her daughter up the river too if it benefited business. When her plan falls flat, Summer is ultimately the injured party. Not to mention Phyllis could not give two figs about Kyle. To her, he is nothing more than a dumb and a pawn in her scheme. With this wholesome plan in place, private investigator armed with a camera is sent to watch Kyle and Lola on their romantic meeting. Phyllis hopes that the heavy-lidded looks the pair give each other are enough to substantiate the idea of adultery. The only problem being Lola is involved. Lola and her boring morals ruin the whole thing. She decides they cannot possibly spend the night together as Kyle is a married man. Ugh, so dull. Or is it? After all, there is nothing wrong with looking at the merchandise. It's a problem when touching gets involved. Without the nookie to back up the photos, Phyllis is left without blackmail. Advantage Jack, with Phyllis unable to cover up her tracks or prove any wrongdoing. She is stuck in a position of weakness with Jack. It's not a secret that Summer and Kyle have a sham marriage. Jack recruits the help of Lauren, Phyllis's would-be business partner, with an independent Jabbo. He might have a plan that can financially benefit all the parties involved. This action seems too kind, especially for Jack, who was the person to stage a coup in the first place. But perhaps, as the adage goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Phyllis is nothing compared to Ashley, who has been scheming to destroy Jabbo from afar. Could a man be helpful this week? This is groundbreaking and a real cliffhanger for next week. How will Jack bail everyone out and save Jabbo once and for all? In Genoa City, love is never just love. It's a battlefield strewn with betrayals, boardroom power plays, and secrets buried so deep they might as well be family heirlooms. But nothing strikes deeper than a mother's love, especially when that love, once pure and nurturing, turns dangerous. And on the young and the restless, no maternal descent into madness has been more riveting, more chaotic, or more devastating than that of Claire Grace's mother, Jordan. From the moment Jordan slinked into the storyline, cloaked in mystery and vengeance, viewers knew they were in for a storm. But no one expected the hurricane that followed. What started as a mother's grief-fueled quest for justice spiraled into something far darker, a warpath against the very family she once longed to be part of. Her love for Claire, twisted by bitterness and delusion, became the weapon she wielded against the Newmans and her own soul. Jordan was no ordinary villainess. She didn't want power or money, at least not in the traditional sense. She wanted validation. She wanted Claire to be seen, heard, and most of all, avenged. But in her quest to rewrite history, Jordan erased every line between motherly protection and dangerous obsession. She made Claire the center of her universe, and in doing so made every perceived threat to her daughter a target. The twisted irony? Claire didn't even know Jordan was her mother, not at first. When the truth finally unraveled, it hit like a wrecking ball. Claire, kidnapped as a baby, raised under lies and manipulation, was never given the chance to form her own opinions. Her identity was shaped by Jordan's bitterness. Her hatred for the Newmans was inherited, not earned. It was a mother's love, fierce and all-consuming, gone rogue. It wasn't just her enemies Jordan outwitted. She fooled the viewers too. Initially, there was something sympathetic about her. A woman wronged, a grieving sister, a protector. But the sympathy eroded when her revenge plot turned into full-blown terrorism. Poison, kidnapping, mental torture, nothing was too extreme. The very traits that made Jordan a compelling character also made her terrifying: intelligence, patience, and unshakable conviction. She believed what she was doing was right. That made her lethal. There's a dark beauty in how the young and the restless explored the maternal psyche through Jordan. Soap operas have long thrived on hyperbole, but within Jordan's descent, there is a chilling realism. When love turns to obsession, when grief becomes identity, when a parent lives vicariously through a child, that's not fiction. That's psychology. Jordan's story was less about villainy and more about decay, the emotional rot that comes when pain is never processed, only weaponized. In many ways, Jordan served as a cautionary tale, not just for parents, but for anyone grappling with old wounds. She never healed from her family's past betrayals, and instead of breaking the cycle, she became the most toxic branch on the family tree. Her actions were monstrous, but they stemmed from very human emotions: abandonment, rage, envy. She was a monster made, not born. Meanwhile, Claire's arc offered a poignant counterpoint. Raised in the shadow of Jordan's lies, she struggled to find herself amid the chaos. And yet, despite the trauma, there was hope in her. A flicker of something good. Something redeemable. The show asked a haunting question: can you ever truly escape a parent's legacy? Claire tried. She still is. The confrontation between Claire and Jordan was one of the show's most powerful moments. It wasn't a typical soap showdown filled with slaps and screaming. It was quieter, more intimate, a tragic symphony of betrayal and heartbreak. Claire, with trembling lips and tear-streaked cheeks, begged Jordan to stop, to see the damage, to love her enough to let go. But Jordan, wrapped so tightly in her delusions, couldn't hear it. Her love had turned into a noose, tightening around both their necks. And then came the final betrayal, Jordan's willingness to destroy Claire's future just to hurt the Newmans. That was the true breaking point. No longer was Jordan the overprotective mother. She was the villain in Claire's story. She wasn't saving her daughter. She was suffocating her. The beauty of this storyline lies not just in its emotional depth, but in its refusal to offer easy answers. There's no neat bow here. Claire is scarred, Jordan is imprisoned or possibly dead. Genoa City is never short on shocking resurrections, and the Newmans are left to pick up the pieces. But the damage has been done, and the emotional shrapnel still lingers. The Young and the Restless has always thrived on complex family dynamics, but the Jordan-Claire saga redefined the stakes. It wasn't about who got the mansion or the $1 million contract. It was about identity, manipulation, and the haunting power of a parent's love. It reminded viewers that not all villains come with fangs, some come with lullabies and promises. And as fans watched Claire try to reclaim her life, the show offered a sliver of redemption. Not for Jordan, perhaps, but for the idea that cycles can be broken. That even in a town as twisted as Genoa City, healing is possible. Still, there's a lingering shadow. Because with characters like Jordan, nothing is ever truly over. A look, a whisper, a cryptic letter, all it takes is one spark to reignite the flame. And somewhere in the back of every viewer's mind is the question: what if Jordan isn't done yet? Because a mother's love, once gone rogue, doesn't just disappear. It lurks. It waits. It plots. Let me know if you want this stylized for a blog post, publication ready with subheadings, or adapted into a different tone. Redemption. Not for Jordan, perhaps, but for the idea that cycles can be broken. That even in a town as twisted as Genoa City, healing is possible.